Hello, I'm Joshikins, and welcome back to another episode of Animorphs Mania. Woohoo! And if it was around 3 in the morning now, I would be screaming and yelling and shit. But so just imagine I did that. Woot woot. Anyways, today we're discussing Marco. Now, I love him now. I adore this sarcastic asshole who has the group's best interest at heart, even when he was like, why am I doing this shit? I just want to go home. Jake, okay, you're going to get yourself killed, so I'm coming after you, and that's the only reason why. And I love him now, but I can't really remember way back when I first read the series, but during my reread of it, I noticed I was like, Marco, this fucking annoying jackass, can he just fucking die? Oh, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, you're such a fucking asshole, Marco. And I think maybe it took until book 2 or 3 for me to finally go, okay, I was totally wrong about you, Marco. You're actually really good and really important. And so I would say my love for Marco came sort of like I don't really like wine, but like a fine wine. It takes a look and no, that's the wrong. No, I'm sorry, I'm just like booze. But anyways, my love for Marco I found Marco to be very much an acquired taste. It's not like I was like, oh, this is awesome, but now I'm like go back even to the first book and like he is really awesome in this one. And the one thing from the first book that I liked even about him, even when I didn't really like him as a character, was when they're down going in the urn pool and Marco says, hey Jake, if I do get captured, become a controller, just kill me. I prefer death than to be a slave. This is a kid's book. This is the first book in the series. And he is that fucking badass. Fucking God. And one of the things you get to learn about Marco is that he is more complicated than he first appears, and all the characters in Animorphs, especially the main cast, become more complicated the more you learn about them. And Marco, he jokes around on the outside, but he is extremely serious and clear-headed underneath. It's just like I don't want anyone else to see that part of me. He tells Cassie in the 4th book, and he also thinks that you can view the world as endless pain and suffering and bad shit happening again and again, or you can view the world as one big fucking joke. And Marco keeps his sanity by taking the world as a joke, not taking things so seriously. And while I identify heavily with Tobias, I do joke a lot that sometimes people don't even know when I'm serious or not, and I think maybe a few people, well, more than a few, don't realize how, serious and analytic I can be, because 99.9% of the time I am joking and making people laugh. So I do, although my whole reasoning is something for another vlog and, has more to do about Tobias, but I do think Marco has the good outlook on life, and in fact, he is one of the surviving Animorphs that does keep a grip on his self from before the war. The other being Cassie, who's the only one to canonically survive. Anyways, as I said, he's very smart and intelligent. He's the second in command of the Animorphs, and he's able to see clearly from point A to point B, thinking at times extremely ruthlessly. I haven't gotten to this book in my reread, but number 30, The Reunion, I believe that's the book. The Animorphs cover shows Marco morphing into cockroach. I can probably identify more Animorph books via their covers I haven't seen in years than the actual titles. I don't know. I don't know what that means about me. But in that book, he had to decide whether or not to kill his mom. Because what if Fisher 1 is on their side and, deciding things like that? So yeah, Matricide, something that is discussed in Animorphs, a series for kids. So if you ever wonder why I turned out the way I did, this series. Fuck yeah. But he's very, very strategic. I remember in, I believe it was number 3, The Encounter, where Jake and the others are like, we're going out to the mountains tomorrow, and Marco's like, dudes, no? And Rachel's like, oh my god, if you don't want to fucking join in, just don't fucking join in. And Marco's like, that's because tomorrow's a school day, so if we all leave, then, we'll sort of draw suspicion. So yeah, it isn't until the 5th book that he really joins into the fighting. So in number 3, he was like, fuck it. I guess it falls to me, the great and superior Marco, to watch over these fucking morons. So yeah, he is an awesome character, and I highly adore him. And I would like to know your opinions. What do you think about Marco? Did you like him instantly, or were you like me, where it took a few books for you to acquire the taste of Marco? Oh, it's so fucking awesome. But, we can start a nice Animorph conversation. And I have been Jashikins, owner at jashikins.com. Damn it. jashikins.blogspot.com. For a moment, I thought I had my own website. So it's what I know. And on my blog, you can see other videos in the Animorphs Mania series. And for those of you who like Choose Your Own Adventure, the latest Aniverse update is now out. Now, Rachel has been added to the list of playable characters on that. I will be working on a new update for it in a week or so, just so people can have a nice experience of going through it while there's no downtime. There will still be pieces where you can definitely tell I'm working on it, because the choices are worded way differently. The tops of the pages aren't the locations, but are the points in the plot, so I like people to be sort of able to go through it for a little bit without worrying about shit like that popping up. And while I cool down from that, I'm going to be working on a Choose Your Own for a Soma sequel, and I will not let the Soma sequel interfere with Aniverse, I promise. I have things sort of planned out, but if I try to describe them, it's like there's these whole big graphs that, make you understand what I'm talking about and how I fit things in. And if you go on my blog, the blog on the sidebar, there is now a poll. It's a not a Mockingjay poll, but it's a poll asking who your least favorite Hunger Games character is. And also on the sidebar thingy, there is another dragon yet waiting to be named. So if you want to go over there and check out, the benefits and rules of suggesting name, go ahead. It'd be awesome. And finally, if you have kept up with my blog for a little bit and you're like, I really want to financially support Jashikin, she has provided entertainment for years, then you have two options. Both links are in the description if you're watching this on the YouTubes, or on the sidebar thingy if you're watching on my bloggity blog. The first is Fiverr. I do writing commissions on Fiverr, so if you want a Marco fan fiction, I will write. And if you don't want a writing commission from me for whatever reason, I have a Patreon. I am Jashikins on Patreon, and for $1 a month you get exclusive updates about my upcoming ebooks, and for $5 a month you get an exclusive vlog from me. It's awesome, right? Totally awesome. And I'm going to hopefully have both out tomorrow night. Tomorrow night or Friday, depending how things work out. I really wish I could set clearer dates for everything. And until next video, goodbye.